Hi, my name is Colton Wyndham, and this is my CFI presentation. Today we're going to be covering main rotor vortex ring state, or in other words, settling with power. Today we're going to cover what settling with power is, what causes it, what its indications are, how we avoid it, and how we recover from it. So what is settling with power? Well, in normal forward flight or even hovering flight, we're taking air from above us, clean, undisturbed air, and we're pulling it through the rotor system and directing it downward. In a hover, downward and outward, and in forward flight, downward and behind us. Sideward flight to the side, and so on. This is good, and this is how we maintain forward flight and utilize the clean, undisturbed air above us. Well, in a descent, it's a little bit different. When we're descending, the air below us the relative wind is starting to come from below us, and it's increasing in velocity depending on how fast you're descending. Our downwash, our induced flow, depending on our weight and other factors, is moving at a certain speed. Well, depending on our descent rate, the speed of our downwash and our induced flow may not be sufficient to overcome the upwash velocity, in which case we may encounter settling with power. So what causes settling with power? Well, there's a couple things. First, high rate of descent and low airspeed. In this situation, we're descending fast enough and slow enough that we're not leaving the vortices that we're creating behind us. Second, not flaring and not cushioning your aircraft properly, such as in a quick stop. If you lose altitude and quick stop too hard or too aggressively, you could encounter a settling with power situation. So improper flares. This includes too aggressive. Last but not least, as there are other situations that could cause settling with power, is any operation that you're doing with the tailwind. Auto rotation, a normal approach, air taxi, a quick stop. Tailwinds will blow your vortices back into what you are trying to descend through and cause settling with power. Avoid tailwind approaches at all costs. Always do things into the wind. So what are the symptoms of settling with power in the situation that we end up in it, as we are all human? Well, the first one and the most noticeable one, or one of the most noticeable ones, is you're going to start to feel vibrations, unusual vibrations, low frequency vibrations. With these vibrations, you're going to start to notice a unusually high rate of descent, one that you're not controlling. High rate of descent. Along with the vibrations and the high rate of descent, you're going to encounter a lack of control effectiveness. Your stick's going to get sloppy, your collective, your power inputs, they're going to have a lot less effect, if any at all. This is settling with power. Settling with power is a hazardous situation. However, there is a recovery. There are two things you must do if you find yourself in settling with power. First, reduce power. Keep in mind that if you are in settling with power and you're at a low altitude, reducing power is going to cause you to lose even more altitude. So you must keep that in mind. And it's important to avoid settling with power more at lower altitudes than at higher altitudes. The second thing you want to do, and this is very important as well, is gain airspeed. By gaining airspeed, you're leaving your downwash behind you or to the side. You can gain airspeed in any direction, forward, backwards, sidewards, but you must gain airspeed and leave those vortices behind. This is probably a more effective tool at low altitudes, but both are important and both will help you recover from settling with power. So today we've gone over what main rotor vortex ring state is, or settling with power, what its indications are, what its symptoms, causes, and recovery procedure is. Thank you for watching my CFI presentation. I'm Colton Wyndham.